Hey there, dog lovers. Today, we're talking about a crucial topic, how to help your dog see you as the leader of the pack. You've probably heard terms like alpha syndrome or social hierarchy thrown around. But don't worry, we're not getting too technical here. I'm going to break it down simple and easy for you. Now, if your dog's being pushy and ignoring your commands, they might just be showing signs of that dreaded alpha syndrome. This can lead to all sorts of behavior problems, but the good news is you can fix it with a few simple adjustments. First off, this isn't about punishment. It's about creating mutual respect and understanding between you and your dog. If your dog has serious behavior issues like growling or snapping, please seek professional help from a dog behaviorist. For the rest of us, here's how you can start alphatizing yourself and establish that leadership role. We're going to start with the basics. Getting your dog's attention. You can't be a leader if your dog's off in their own world, right? So, throughout the day, make it a point to get those eyes on you. Call your dog's name. Doesn't matter if they're right next to you or across the room. The second they look at you, bam! Give them praise. Good dog. With a big smile, a little pat on the head, whatever works for you. Now, if your dog's a little stubborn, you can try holding up a treat. The key here is to get them looking at you. Eye contact is the foundation of communication. It's how you let your dog know, hey, I'm talking to you. This ain't a one-time thing, folks. Do this several times a day, every day. Make it a habit. The more your dog sees you as someone worth paying attention to, the easier everything else will be. Remember, we're building a language here, a silent language between you and your dog. And it all starts with that connection, that moment when they look at you and acknowledge you as the leader. So get out there and start making eye contact. Your dog's waiting for you to step up and be the leader they need. Let's talk about food, because in the dog world, food equals power. If your dog's got free reign over their bowl, grazing whenever they please, it's time to change that. We're going to start scheduling meals. Twice a day, same time every day. This establishes a routine which dogs thrive on. It also reinforces that you're the provider, the one in control of the good stuff. Now, when you put that bowl down, don't just walk away. Make your dog work for it a little. Have them sit patiently while you put the bowl down. Once they're sitting calmly, then you give the release word like, okay or go ahead. This simple act sends a powerful message. You eat when I say you eat. You get what you want when you're calm and submissive. It's all about establishing that healthy hierarchy. And don't cave into those puppy dog eyes. Consistency is key here. Once you start giving in and letting them eat whenever, you're undoing all the hard work you've put in. Remember, you're not being mean, you're being a leader. A leader provides, but they also set boundaries. And trust me, your dog will thank you for it in the long run. This next tip might seem a little strange, but trust me, it's all about sending the right message to your furry friend. It's about who eats first. That's right, you heard me correctly. You, the pack leader, eat before your dog. Now, I don't mean you gotta gobble down your whole meal in front of them, but make it a point to have a few bites before you put their bowl down. Why is this important? Because in the wild, the alpha dog always eats first. It's a primal instinct that tells your dog who's in charge. By eating first, you're subtly reaffirming your position as the leader of the pack. Now, this doesn't mean you gotta turn into some kind of food-obsessed tyrant. Just a simple act of taking a few bites before you feed your dog can make a world of difference in how they see you. Remember, we're talking about instinct here, folks. Dogs understand the world through action and energy, not words. So show them who's boss by simply eating first. All right, let's talk about praise and treats. Now, I'm all for giving our furry friends love and affection, but during this alphatizing process, we gotta make sure they're earning it. That's right. No more free handouts. If your dog wants a treat or a pat on the head, they gotta work for it. Ask them to sit, stay, or even just look at you before you give them the good stuff. Think of it like this. You're the CEO of your household, and your dog's an employee. You wouldn't just hand out promotions and bonuses for nothing, would you? They gotta earn it. This goes for attention too. If your dog comes up to you looking for a cuddle, don't just give in right away. Have them sit first, make eye contact, show you they respect your space. It might seem like a small thing, but trust me, it makes a big difference. By making them work for it, you're teaching them that good things come to those who respect the leader. Remember, we're not trying to be mean here, we're just establishing boundaries and expectations. And in the end, that's going to lead to a happier, more well-behaved dog. We're going to talk about doorways. Seems like a small thing, right? But trust me, it's a prime opportunity to assert your leadership. See, in the dog world, the alpha always goes first. They control the space. So from now on, you're the gatekeeper. Whether it's the front door, the car door, even just walking through a narrow passage, you go first. Your dog waits behind you patiently until you give them the okay to proceed. Now, this might take some training, especially if your dog's used to barging through like they own the place. But be patient, be consistent. Use a leash if you have to, gently holding them back until you've gone through first. Once you're through, then you can invite them to follow. A simple "okay, let's go" will do. The key is to make it clear that you're the one leading the way, controlling the flow. This might seem like a small detail, but it's all about sending that message of leadership. You control the space, you decide when and where you go, and your dog follows your lead. All right, let's talk about territory. Your house, your yard, it's all your domain. And as the pack leader, you control the space. This means no more stepping over your dog or letting them hog the best spot on the couch. If your dog's sprawled out in the middle of the floor, don't walk around them. Make them move. A gentle nudge or a firm "excuse me" should do the trick. The point is, they gotta learn to respect your space. Now, this doesn't mean you gotta be a tyrant about it. You can still cuddle on the couch with your furry friend, but make sure they move over when you ask. No more jumping up uninvited or hogging the armrest. It's all about establishing boundaries. You're not being mean, you're just being the leader. And a good leader creates a structured environment where everyone knows their place. Remember, dogs thrive on routine and predictability. When you control the territory, you're creating a sense of order that makes them feel safe and secure. Let's talk about communication. Because clear communication is key to establishing yourself as the pack leader. When you give a command, you mean it. No repeating yourself 100 times or using baby talk. Speak in a normal, assertive tone. No need to yell or get aggressive, just be firm and clear. Sit, stay, come. These are not suggestions, they're commands. And your dog needs to learn to respect that. Now, if your dog doesn't obey right away, don't get frustrated. Calmly repeat the command and gently guide them into the desired position. Once they comply, even if it takes a little coaxing, give them praise. The important thing is to be consistent. Don't give mixed signals by sometimes enforcing commands and sometimes letting them slide. Your dog needs to know that when you say something, you mean it. Remember, dogs are excellent at reading body language and tone of voice. So stand tall, make eye contact, and speak with confidence. Let them know that you're the one in charge and you expect to be obeyed. Let's talk about playtime. Now, I'm all for having fun with your furry friend, but even during games, it's important to reinforce that alpha status. That means you gotta be the winner. Whether it's fetch, tug of war, or even just a rousing game of chase, make sure you come out on top. Don't let your dog win just to make them happy. It might seem harmless, but it sends the wrong message. Now, I'm not saying you gotta crush your dog's spirit. Keep the games fun and engaging. But when it's time to end it, you end it on your terms. You throw the ball one last time, you win the tug of war, you call off the chase. And when the game's over, put the toys away. Don't leave them lying around for your dog to play with whenever they please. This reinforces the idea that you control the resources, the fun, the everything. Remember, dogs are naturally competitive and they respect strength and leadership. By being the winner, you're not being mean, you're just fulfilling their instinctual need for a strong leader. Let's talk about boundaries. See, a lot of folks treat their dogs like little furry humans, but the truth is dogs need structure. They crave it. And that structure comes from you, the pack leader. Now, this doesn't mean you gotta rule with an iron paw. It just means you're the one making the decisions. You decide when it's time to play, when it's time to eat, when it's time to go to bed. And speaking of bed, let's talk about that for a second. Your bed is your territory. If your dog has any behavior issues, keep them off the bed until those issues are resolved. It's a privilege, not a right. See, when you let your dog sleep on your bed, you're sending a message of equality. And while that might sound sweet, it can actually create confusion and anxiety for your dog. They need to know their place in the pack. Remember, you're not being mean by establishing boundaries. You're actually doing your dog a favor. You're giving them the structure and guidance they need to feel safe, secure, and loved. So there you have it, folks. 9 easy steps to becoming the pack leader your dog needs. Remember, It's not about being mean or dominant. It's about creating a balanced and harmonious relationship built on trust and respect. By following these simple tips, you'll be well on your way to having a happier, more well-behaved dog. And remember, consistency is key. Stick with it and you'll be amazed at the transformation in your furry friend. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more great dog training tips. See y'all next time on Brainy Barkers.